Pokemon Legends ZA continues its run of having no news since its initial teaser trailer. And while most would agree we're happy with waiting a year with no mainline releases, others have become quite vocal in their disdain for the lack of news and trailers. And it's within that complaint that a conversation stems. Is no news bad news? Can we appreciate taking the year off while simultaneously criticizing a lack of footage and hype building? Well, that's a lot to dissect. Time and time again, Pokemon has released games that we love, but also that we can still admit should have been better. There's always something missing from every entry, and some entries are missing far more than others. There's no denying where we all stand because of this. That Pokemon has a quality problem. It's a problem that stems from a supremely tight release schedule that the Pokemon Company has been insistent on for years because they want to continue churning the wheel of selling merchandise, promoting new seasons of the anime, releasing new TCG sets, and of course, pushing out games to accompany all that. Notice how the games came last in my list. Arguably, the most important branch of Pokemon to us, but to the Pokemon Company, it's just more set dressing for merchandise sales, rather than the other way around. You've already heard the talks and seen the numbers. The money the Pokemon Company makes off of merchandise dwarfs the money made from pretty much every other branch combined. But that's not to say the other branches don't also make a big load of cash, because they do. And with annual releases having been the norm for the last decade or so, they've gotten away with the bare minimum development in their games while still selling far higher numbers of them that other franchises could only dream of. Once again, I'll point out, this is why we're all on the same page when it comes to Pokemon Legends ZA. We all agree that we're happy to have the year off from an annual mainline release. It gives us a break from consuming another incomplete game. It gives Game Freak time and energy to craft something they can truly be proud of. And it gives the franchise a chance to redeem itself in the pursuit of longevity. If things had continued in the direction they'd been going, I don't think the Pokemon Company is blind to the possibility that fans will lose interest and fall off in the long run if the series tarnished its reputation any more than it already has. A big warning sign to them, yes, was Palworld. I'm not quite sure why, but Pokemon fans get really angry when they hear this from anyone. However, it's no secret. Palworld very much showed the world and the Pokemon Company that fans are willing to look elsewhere within the creature collection genre. And if competition were ever to outshine and take away Pokemon's monopoly, that, my friends, is the day the Pokemon Company dreads. Obviously, I'm not saying that's happened yet, because it hasn't. Many have tried and failed at this point, and some may have come close, but the scary thought for the Pokemon Company is that that could happen at any moment. If they continue to disappoint and someone else comes along and finally steals the show, they know their series loses its staying power. I'll reiterate, that's yet to happen, as Palworld has only had one release so far, and it's not even the full game. But the Pokemon Company knows they need to start work to preserve their franchise for longevity now, rather than later. Again, don't get mad at me when I say this as I'm just stating facts, but Palworld sold better than Scarlet and Violet, which is Game Freak's third highest selling game of all time. And Palworld isn't even finished yet. It's still in early access. The Pokemon Company is looking at those numbers and saying, wait a minute, that could be us. Maybe we should actually afford the time to let Game Freak craft something comparable in quality to that. How about we invest in our future? And if you ask me, at this point, that's the right play. These company heads only see money after all, so let's take advantage of that at least this one time and get something that benefits literally everyone involved. Show Palworld up, Game Freak! Pokemon Company, show everyone why you're the one who's had the most success in this genre. See, this is why competition is good, and even better is that we, the fans, might actually get the highest quality Pokemon game ever out of it. It's a win-win-win. Even more wins added if you consider Game Freak will likely have a better work environment with these looser release schedules, and more people are getting jobs as Game Freak recently revealed they're hiring and expanding more. So much good to come out of all this. But now, back to what many of you have recently taken issue with. and that's the news drought. Just this last weekend, the Pokemon World Championships were held. I saw insane discourse and surges of commentary online surrounding the possibility of Pokemon Legends ZA news. I tried to counteract this with a video of my own to temper expectations, but the insane and overwhelming momentum of hype was just too much. No one wanted to hear it. They wanted ZA news, and they wanted it now. They thought they would get it. I have no idea why or how. The championships have never had a large reveal, nor have they ever revealed anything for a game that lacked proper footage already. Today, it's with a heavy heart that I read the disappointed and outwardly pessimistic posts from fans who weren't going to let their hopes die down. Even when I think the Pokemon Company made it fairly clear we won't be seeing more of ZA until next year, or for being extremely generous, near the end of this year. Instead, we got news of Pokemon coming to Pokemon Go, such as Morpeko and a very large Pokemon that they've yet to name, but come on, we all know it's Eternatus. We also got it officially announced that Pokemon Unite is receiving Armarouge, Darkrai, and Psyduck. I play Unite a lot, so I'm definitely excited for at least 2 of these. But, I mean, most fans didn't care. The desire for a new and shiny Pokemon game every year has developed subconsciously within the minds of fans, who've consumed annually with little thought against it. It'll take some time to deprogram ourselves, but I promise you guys, there is absolutely nothing to be worried about. This is all nothing but a good thing. It's only 1 year of us dealing with no news. Most other franchises wait so long, often with a half a decade's worth of news and footage drought. Those are the games to get worried about. Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4. Luckily though, Nintendo has been really good about not letting their projects get cancelled. Bayonetta 3 eventually got released, and Metroid Prime 4 just got its first gameplay trailer. All it takes is some patience, and by comparison, this is nothing. And guys, we're all here in it together. We're all fans of the same thing. We all already have so much to talk about and bond over. We have several Pokemon games to play on the latest console, games to gush over together, criticize together, play together, whatever your vibe. I'll admit, I do feel like a lot of the current state of ZA's hype cycle relies on content creators such as myself, and I don't know about my fellow creatives, but I, for one, am definitely here for you to discuss anything we can find along the way. So, comment your thoughts down below if you're okay with the lack of news, if you think something truly special is coming next year or not in the form of Legends ZA. And in the meantime, feel free to check out some of my other videos like this one here, where I discuss all of the new jobs GameFreak is hiring for, and what that means for ZA. I've been JotoJohnny, and I'll catch you all there.